Hello, and welcome back to Slice and Dice. My name is Harley. Last time the video took about 80 minutes. We got through it hard. It was very fun, very exciting. We have 100% win on that right now. This video will probably be a little bit shorter than that because we're going to Unfair. I was successful once on Unfair on my phone, and then I proceeded to be unsuccessful about 50 times. It's still just the once. So what happens here is we have to pick 10 points worth of bad stuff, which is the purple. And that's it, yeah. We just pick a whole bunch of bad stuff and then it gets really bad. So Monster White's having 3 really annoying. This is a good thing. Worst items -3 is terrible because it means that the starting items that we get for the first couple items are actually going to be curses because they'll be negative. Cursed items have to be equipped and they do really annoying stuff. Honestly, these are pretty atrocious, but they weren't going to be good. I think I'm fine with Skulk. So 6 more things to grab. Death being permanent is atrocious because it means the first time a hero dies, you just have 4. I imagine they don't lose this item. I suspect this just shows up in your inventory, and then you have to put it on another hero. And if that hero dies, then you only have 3 heroes, and you never get them back. What if we do this and get some cursed items, and then hopefully nothing bad happens with Skulk and the cursed items aren't too terrible? Okay, so I don't think I have anything that does anything about those archers on the back row. I lie, I have 1 singular fork. So in 2 turns, 1 archer could die if we get really lucky about that. I'm not a fan of Ruffian Rage, taking 5 pain damage when you have 4 hit points to start with. That's pretty bad in my mind. Of course, we roll it again. Literally would rather just do the 1 damage than just have him explode into ruins. Very tempted to slice here. I can't kill anyone anyway. I feel like I might as well. Now all the 1 damages that I can do might actually come into play. This burst could kill a rat, the sword could kill an archer, the other one will probably run away, but let's see if we can make it a sure thing. Sure can. Didn't even need the burst. Berserker at least has enough health to be able to do these pain attacks, that's nice. I do really enjoy the Jester though, I feel like Flick is very fun to use, that's the spell the Jester brings to the table. 1 damage, but it's engaged, so it's ×2 when they have full health. Doesn't sound like very much, especially when you also see that it's cooldown and can only be used once a turn, but it's 1 or 2 damage depending on the scenario, and it's very cheap at 1 mana, so there's actually a bunch of use cases where it seems like Flick is the perfect tool for the job. Student is decent, we did just use the slice, and we're able to finish that first fight pretty easily because of it. But there's a whole bunch of X's on this character, and I don't know, just seems a little bit weak. We do have 1 healer to deal with the Berserker Pain, but kind of leaning towards Jester. Let's just go Jester. Well, the good news is that nobody has to die because this guy can shield himself. Let's see if we can make anything more interesting than just nobody dying happen. We could kill the rat and do a singular damage to something else. That's pretty good. Actually, I underestimated just how much damage we could do to something else. Because it could be a whole 3 damage. But I think I'm actually going to burst the defender and just keep a little bit of health. I have a singular healer. She does have some hearts on her. That's something. If you hear anything, it's a cat. You know what? I think I actually just had a better shield and threw it away. First you. Stab you. First you again. Like you. And that fits in nicely. Really, most of these early fights are entirely just, is there a way to not die and also do some damage? That's how a lot of the later fights are too, but the early fights it seems even more important to just, can I keep everyone alive and keep moving in a somewhat forward direction? So if we can get... Actually, this is already a win because first those two, and then stab the last heart. And now it's by 3. Oh god, a scrolling title. Never once has that been good news for me. So these are actually tier 2 bads. Effectively a -2 item. So my understanding is that we're going to get a -1 item after this, and then a 0 item, and then finally after that we start getting good items. And by good, I just mean positive, because tier 1 items are still garbage. They're just not actively bad. Let's see what it does. Must be equipped. Immune to healing must be equipped. Add pain to the 2 left sides. Okay, that's really frustrating. Most heroes are going to have some sort of pip there, which means that pain will actually do something. I can't just weasel out of it. Sticky to all sides means, yeah, you can't re-roll it. That might be the best thing, just because there's probably going to be a hero that has something worth having on every face, or at least something not terrible. See, look, our Dabble has something on every face. Some of those are not very good, but hey, even 1 damage is nice. We've used it a couple times already. And the alternative was pain on the first 2 faces, which is pretty bad. Obviously, it wouldn't change the Ruffian very much, but still not super great. We're probably not going to have the Ruffian forever. Well, we won't have the Ruffian forever, but it probably won't be replaced by something that's equivalent either. I don't like it, but I'm gonna pick Slimed. Stick it here and just hope that we keep the Dabble long enough to get over the fact that we have that stupid thing. Take a 3 mana. The biggest shield, I'm not skipping it this time. Another shield is nice. Okay, so we have plenty of mana. The Jester gets to live, even though I don't think we can... Actually, we absolutely can kill something. Look at that. Now if we kill this wolf on the next turn, this goblin will run away in fear. Or in cowardice, whatever that is. Loneliness? Doesn't feel good getting 1 mana sticky, but it's something we can work through. I think that's enough bursts already to do the job. Let's see what else happens. Okay. Click you. And there we go. I guess unfair isn't that bad, apparently. It's really bad on the phone. Maybe Steam version's not the same. So putting the slime here would be pretty annoying because these cantrips would just not happen. You'd roll it once and then it would stick, and then you'd get to use it again, but that's kind of, I don't know, half power for the cantrip. The set hero to 4 hit points is kind of useful under certain circumstances that we've already largely passed. There are heroes that only have 3 hit points to start with, and setting them to 4 actually just gives them 4. I think I am going to go with the medic. These heal 2 cleaves can be pretty powerful in the right places, and then heal 2 regen. Well, effectively that's canceling out 2 poisons, and also it's very nice to have because your other heroes just kind of start healing themselves almost. What is your extra effect? What is this from? Did I forget about? Oh, it's the first turn. I remember now. Part of my trouble with the unfair is that I just kind of lose track of how many different things are happening. I realize there's only 2 happening right now. It's still a bunch. I don't know if that was mathematically favorable. Let's see, he's at 8 right now. If I didn't do any of that bullshit. It was good by 1. There we go. And he still regens back to 8, but at least he wouldn't regen to 9. This dodge is completely useless. Jester's not taking any damage. Might as well have been the dodge, it didn't do anything. I'm gonna put it on my defender for no real reason other than the arbitrary. I could renew my ruffian up to 4 again, but I don't see any point in doing so. I'll take this. This will keep somebody alive. Might as well. And that's absolutely nothing. Yes, this is insufficient, is what this is. Sometimes the troll fight is just a slow crawl. Okay, that was a good roll from you finally with the sticky. I'm gonna do the heal. That'll save 2 of these people. Then I just have to figure out what to do about the other 2. Hey, there we go. This is not ideal. Because all that was just 1 damage, effectively. I might need to sacrifice the ruffian if I can get the thing that lets me do that. Go ahead and flick him just because I can't abide making none progress. Or at the very least negative, because that was none progress. Okay, the thing that'll fix this Yes. And I won't even have to die for it. Indecisive, because we undid 20 times to get there. Wow. Okay, our last cursed item, unless something goes horribly wrong. Barrel hoops, I already know this one, it's bad. It's not the worst thing in the world, but at least at this level, if somebody with barrel hoops dies, you're probably losing 3 heroes. Mold, but spelled like not mold. But it's gonna add decay as if it was mold. Decay on all sides is pretty disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. If we could get the mushroom wizard guy, whose name escapes me, this would not make much of a difference to him, but to everyone else, this is pretty gross. You do have to use the side for the decay to take effect, which means that it's not like on turn 2, most of the ruffian stuff would be gone, but even still, these would become immediately useless if used even once. I think I'm gonna have to go barrel hoops, and then just not let my defender die. Bunch of garbage. Remember when I said I wasn't gonna let my defender die, and now he has 1 hit point coming in? So it immediately turns south. I don't think I can save the ruffian. I can save the dabble. And I can save the defender because he's not actually dying. But there's nothing I can actually do about this situation. That was foolish. Okay, so we're gonna flick the barrel. It doesn't feel exactly right. But when the barrel dies, it gets a whole bunch of damage to the adjacent ones, and I don't want to have to deal with the baby slimelet if I can avoid it. I can't avoid it completely, but I can delay when the slimelet shows up by just a little bit longer. Well, I can blow up this barrel and it won't actually save anything. Let's just see it. Exactly nothing useful happens as far as the damage I'm taking. Oh. I've immediately forgotten barrel hoops. Okay. So the issue here is that... Alright, good for me. The issue here is that the defender was dying, and as mentioned 5 seconds ago, when the defender dies, the 2 guys next to him will also explode. With that in mind, I still don't want to blow up the barrel just yet, because I would much rather do that when it'll actually kill the Slimers, instead of just damaging them and also summoning more enemies to fight. Not the best of turns. Am I crazy for thinking that the Jester rolled quite a few X's there and definitely should not have? Statistically speaking? Okay, I think it is time to do that. Oh, unfortunately, the Dabble and the Jester are still going to die. I can save the Jester, but even if I put the heal up here, it would not save the Dabble. The Dabble's toast. Now I have 3 enemies rolling against me, but one is the Slimer, who's going to die, and one Slimelet just didn't do anything. All my heroes will live because of this. I can kill the Slimelet with a flick. Kill the Slimelet that's relevant, I mean. I'm trying to remember which of my heroes actually can do damage at this point. A flick would stop either of these attacks from happening, which means that this would keep him alive. Alright. I don't like losing as many heroes as I just did. So let's change stuff up. I feel like the Gambler is nice, but only 1/6 of the time when you get this nice 5 damage. And all the rest of the time, he's kind of just trash. The Collector, on the other hand, is actually very useful often, and is sometimes just very boring about it with like 2 damage self shield, or a fork when you don't care about forks, or this thing when it's not a time where you want to use that thing. Even so, way better than the Ruffian. So if there's a way to overkill the snake by 2, that would be incredible, because I believe that would make the bandit flee immediately, which would also mean the goblin would flee. So if there's a way to do 7 damage here very quickly, that's basically the I win. Unfortunately, I have 2 heroes that are dying, and I don't know if I can roll for damage that I don't even think I can do. This would be 3. This guy can only do 1, so we're up to 4. Well, the Collector is dying, so that'd be another 4. That would work if we can get specifically this face. I think that's worth rolling for. This will save the Dabble. Roll for the bigger shield, that would save the Collector. Okay. And of course, none of those things happened, because why would they? I have to save the Dabble. And the Collector's just gonna die, I guess. I'm thinking. Yes, I'm thinking that the Collector's just gonna die. There's no way that I could do 8 damage out of what I had to start with. That was the whole point, was that I couldn't do 8 damage. Couldn't do 7 even. The good news is that guy didn't have the barrel hoops. And the bad news is he was still the one that was supposed to do all the damage. Case in point. This dodge is useless. This singular sword is not helpful enough. Starting to think that the Collector was the only guy who could do any damage at all. So the problem here is that I could do damage, but only if the Jester generates mana, or if my Defender can use his 1-tick sword. Okay, or those two could generate some mana. Okay, so it was the same issue as last time with those barrel hoops. And we burst you. Not enough, but it's good enough to keep moving. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this because I don't think the medic... There's a 1 in 6 chance the medic could finish this. Good enough. Okay, so hopefully our collector doesn't die this time, because apparently he's the only one who can really pack a punch. Burstick is a thing. I think this is supposed to counter a curse that we don't have, which is good, because I don't want it. I don't think I've seen it before. Sentry to the 2 right sides, ×2 versus targets with 100 or more hit points. Right then, okay. Give me a different junk. Oh, cool. This can just stay there. So as mentioned, the tier 0s are all complete garbage. I do like this on round 1. I'll probably never see it again, but growth on an early turn really makes me happy to see. Why is our medic already dying? It's just so rude, so inconsiderate. We'll fix that. The jester will make a fool of me and me alone. It'd be nice to be able to put 5 shields on the medic. Not happening. Instead I will flick you and stab you. I do like the 3 mana. It's been a long time since we saw that. So that could save the medic. The collector's pretty screwed. We have enough damage showing that the militia could die, and then, as mentioned, this is enough to save the medic. Is that worth taking? What if yes, and then... yeah. Actually. I wanted to do the flick when it's the only opportunity to do so, and I got a whole staggering 2 damage out of that 1 mana. Don't panic, part of the reason everyone's dying is because the defender's dying. There's almost nothing we can do about that. Everyone might just be dying in general, actually. Good thing there is something we can do about that. Cyclops got stunned because we poked his little eye out. Unfortunately, he's got like eye drops or something, so we're back at it. I'll take this nice heal and this, and I'll take that. How about the Death Wish or the Grow Dagger? What about that? Oh, the fork, thanks. That's really useful right now. Absolutely terrible. Realizing just how bad that is. Well, the collector should be able to fix this situation regardless. So now we've only got 2 heroes on full health, and it's the Slime Queen, which means there's going to be a whole bunch of enemies. The Zabble could become a Trapper. The Trapper is very nice. Not a great source of damage, but still very nice. I like the Cleric for the cleansing. Cleansing is just excellent in general. doesn't help with this exact fight. Light having a cleanse to it, or a cleanse cleave, I mean, very good. The fact that it's single cast definitely is less good. I'd be more tempted to go with the Trapper if it wasn't for the fact that we don't have a better spot for Slimed. Having Sticky on all sides really sucks. Sticky could go on the Collector and not be the worst thing, but it sure wouldn't be the best thing. A lot of these faces are very situational. Not that we're ever gonna get Death Wish when we're dying unless it's like, you know, 1 in a million. But it's still worth it being able to aim for it in my mind. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure a lot of the orange heroes do have mini X's or very situational faces like these dodges. Or this, which is awesome when you can use it, and it might as well be an X when you can't. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Cleric. It's really just better keeping people alive. There's an extra shield, or an extra heal, and the cleansing shield. You can still hold the hoops. And this is still garbage. Okay, turn 1, everyone's gonna hit a little bit harder. Naturally, we have Death Wish on the Collector, but he's not dying. Big mana. More mana. And then a turn 1 grow. Look at all this mana. Isn't that wonderful? Healing the devil with the 5 is not enough to keep her alive. We can do this and still have enough juice left over to flick the queen for 2. This cleansing heal would be more appealing if the 2 recipients were anywhere near each other. It could apply to the medic and the jester, would not keep the jester alive though, so I don't feel spectacular about that. The other option would still just be a 2 heal though. I guess I'm gonna take it. Take a 2 mana. I'll take the hide, actually. That's wonderful. This only applies to dice. Focus is ×2 if you hit the same person twice, but that doesn't count spells, so not particularly helpful here. Okay, let's see how many problems we can fix. Ooh, problems. Great, we've done 3 damage to the Slime Queen. There's only 10 more to go, and she's gonna summon 2 slimes. And also, they will both make a Slimelet. This is a bunch of garbage. That's good. That's good. Great. I really don't enjoy this particular attack when it starts happening more than once. 8 damage to the top and bottom is pretty difficult to mitigate. Yeah, it's always the top and bottom. I'm wondering if I have the ability to do 5 damage stashed around somewhere. I don't think I do, unfortunately. Because even the Collector currently maxes out at 3, because again, top and bottom are getting attacked, not the Collector. If the Collector was dying, hey, then I'd at least have 4. Never gonna roll that 4, but, you know, maybe. You know what? I actually do have the ability to do 5 damage. That would save the dabble. Is there a way to save both of them? I think the answer is no, but I'm trying to think it through. Is that enough to do 8 if we start like that? No, wait, yes. No? No. Learn to count. Alright, saving the Abilities. Am I an insane person? There we go. Approximately halfway done with the Slime Queen, for anyone wondering. Sure would be nice to roll the Growth Knife again. Keep going. Ideally, we do 5 damage here, and then move on to the thing that gets summoned. Take no damage this turn. Live long and happy lives. Unfortunately, that's not shaping up. Gosh dang it. Wait. Wait. The Dabble is going to take wild swings because of the slime, so I'm thinking I save the medic. Go down to 3 heroes for this. Finally see that again. You are killing everyone. You are not fatal. Gonna grab a heal. Gonna do absolutely nothing. This is becoming possible again. I don't like having only 3 heroes. I don't like that what that means for the next fight. Everyone's going to live this turn. Growth Knife, please. Nope. Honestly, self-shielding, also pretty good. Just really helps the meta keep up. They have 2 heroes that are almost full, and 1 that's almost dead. Ah, the Growth Knife. Surely I can scrounge up 3 damage, right guys? Right? Anything you can do could kill the Slimer. So I'm not gonna take that. You have better thing. You are mostly garbage right now. This is the thing. Maybe the Slimelet will run away if it knows what's good for it. Yes, please leave. Okay. My poor Jester and Dabble. Oh, there's another Slimer to do that top and bottom attack again. Okay, so heal 2 single cast. Not great, kind of fine. Replacing the middle with dodge all damage seems tempting, but the middle is often pretty good as far as sides go. I don't really want to lose any of these middles, to be honest. This one I don't care about as long as Dabble is holding the slime. If it becomes a dodge, that's worthless unless the dabble is actually taking damage. This one is actually pretty useful, as we just saw, depending on, again, what everyone else is doing. Cleanse, can't lose it. This is a source of mana that was, again, coming in handy. This is the best face I have. Not giving that up. So, let's go with the heal. Everything seems kind of low on heals, and I'll stick it here. I like to keep the spells on people that actually generate some mana, just to make sure that I won't be in a situation where all of my mana guys die, and then I have a spell that I can't generate mana for. It seems very silly. I have 5 heroes die, or 4 heroes dying this turn. Most of that is probably because the cleric is dying, doing 5 damage to these two, but obviously that's not affecting the jester. The jester is getting sniped. Can't do anything with that directly because I don't have any ranged. This guy's doing 3 to everyone, which is a large part of the problem, as far as to why they're dying instead of just saying 5. I currently have 6 damage ready to go. That's not enough to kill the Slimer. The Slimer has 7 hit points. Aha. I think I miscalculated that move, actually. I think I did have enough damage to kill him. What's this? Oh, this is the poultice that we just got moments ago. And if we do all of that, the jester still dies. This is not sufficient to save him, although it would give him only 1 damage overkill instead of a 2. Is this worth it? The answer is probably. I wasn't really thinking or seeing another way to save everyone else. My biggest concern is that the Fanatic is just going to do a ton of damage to everyone, and it would be nice if the Jester could catch one of those with a dodge. A little bit unlikely, but it does happen. Well. This will save somebody. This will keep somebody happy. Oh boy. Okay, that cleared up a lot of problems. I'm not going to investigate why it cleared up more than I thought it did. Thought it would. Alright, the Fanatic's going to kill himself, but I would like to keep my collector alive for it. Hey, we got Death Wish when we're actually dying. On the first roll, even. That's pretty fun. So now if we can scrape together 3 damage, we can win this turn. Does 3 X's count? Or do you have to roll them all at once? Don't like this win because it involved clicking a lot. What's this? 10 Slimers unlocks... Ah, these emeralds. These emeralds seem very cool. I think I've never managed to make anything cool happen with them. Alright, now we've got 2 heroes that I do really like to replace the Dabble. Now, there's a problem here. I do remember that the Dabble is cursed, or slimed. That slime in particular would make the Juggler pretty useless. The Juggler is awesome, but only because it's got the cantrip stuff. Cantrips being you roll and then keep rolling, and then the damage just adds up very quickly in the rolling phase. In the 3.0 version of this game, the juggler now has this caltrop cantrip thing where the juggler hurts himself. Slightly discourages you from just rolling a bunch, but it doesn't actually stop me, so really what it does is it kills the juggler over time. But I think I do have to go with the ranger this time. Engage, cleave ranged, regular bow. And the issue now is what happens with slimed. Sticking it on Ranger means that we're not going to really be able to roll for the engage when we want it, or the cleave when we want it. Putting it on the Collector means that there's pretty much no chance of getting growth to actually do anything, or Death Wish to actually do anything, and we might get stuck with the Focus Dagger when it makes no sense, or the Cleave Fork, or even Duplicate when it's unhelpful to the plan instead of critical. Decisions. I feel like the Ranger... I was going to say I feel like the Ranger is more consistent in what it's going to do, simply because it has 3 of the same face. Makes it very easy to say I would like to have the cleave attack this time and actually get it. You have a 1 in 2 chance of that. The problem is putting Sticky on the Collector means that you're just going to get some random thing no matter what. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this on the orange hero and see how that pans out. Okay, so what's happening here is the zombie is going to poison the snot out of the Jester, and this imp is going to bite and poison the snot out of the Ranger. Don't like either of those things. If I had the ability to do 4 damage at a time, I could fix that. I don't have that ability. Tantalizingly out of reach by a lot. This will fix the Ranger, in the sense of the Ranger will not die of poison. This could save the Jester. Well, this will keep the Collector happy. Unfortunately, that doesn't actually save the Ranger completely. We're going to have to spend mana to do that. And actually, oops, let me go back far enough. We can do slightly better. We do have this Cleanse 1. Cleansing 1 on the Jester doesn't seem worth it at this exact point though. The Jester's not going to die this turn, and it would essentially be wasting the single cast. We can always do it next time if the Jester is still dying of 3 poison. Wow, look, the Jester's dying of 3 poison. I believe all this does is dodge the sniper shot. I think the poison will still apply. But hey, that's 4 damage coming in that I don't have to think about just yet. Actually, it's not going to be 4 damage. This is an entirely wasted thing. Who did I stab blast? I'm going to go ahead and kill the imp to not have to deal with poison from multiple sources. The Jester can ride out. He's not dying this time. If he's dying next time, we'll do something about it. Wow, a growth knife. I also just realized that we could be rolling for Death Wish and that would finish this, so let's go ahead and give that a shot. This would keep the collector alive and let me do something else with certain other die, but eh. I tried. Whoa. Victory plus 30 fights. That was only fight 10. Wow. Okay. I'm okay with that. Autumn Leaf. I really like the idea of Autumn Leaf in the sense that growth is fun. Do you see the problem with Autumn Leaf with the heroes that I... The rightmost side. Put it on you. The side that I feel like I despise the most on the collector. Or Faint Halo. Could be nice on the medic. Or I could rearrange things and put on the cleric, and that actually sounds pretty good. Let's do that. Let's do that. So the Wiz is going to be a problem. It would be nice if I could do 2 range damage and shut this guy down. I can't really control the range damage I do. I'll do 1, I guess, this time. There's a lot of poison going out that I wish I could stop. Unfortunately, I really can't, because that would require me to be able to do 6 damage in 1 hit, or at least 1 and 5 damage, because the square heart means they're going to be immune. Ghosts are very annoying, I do not like them. This will keep the collect... No, it won't. Wait. Yes, it will. It'll keep the collector alive. My medics pretty suck, though. I might have to use the cleanse, except even that won't work. Will it? By light. Actually, if I light, I would also have to do that. Alright. I will chase you down out of into your immunity phase. Next time I'll be able to deal with that ghost. If I get the cleave ranged again, that would be decent, because that would stun the Wiz and get this ghost into his immunity. That's what's happening. Really would like the ability to do 2 more damage to this ghost so my medic doesn't explode. This will save the collector. The ranger is in a bit of a trouble too. This is good. This is good. That's not good enough. That's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to open with it and then do that. That looks pretty good to me. The only damage that's happening is poison. Unfortunately, I can't do a ton more about that. I think the cleric's cleansing shield is the only thing I can at the moment other than just healing through it. The ghost is over half dead at this point. That dodge is nothing to me. What did I say about the dodge? And we burst through it and it's all fine. Oh, I do so love the eccentric, but I don't know if we have the items that make the eccentric really pop. By which I mean, I don't think we're gonna get any items, because the last one we got was a tier 2. And it's like fight 12. Paladin looks pretty good at staying alive. Shield 4 cleanse is very nice. 3 heal, 3 shield, pretty cool. These hammers frustrate me. I do not like heavy. Heavy to me is make a plan on how to do this turn and throw it out the window, because really these pips are going to have to go to the guy that you don't care about damaging right now. For instance, these bones, they line up so nicely with 4 damage. They have 4 hearts. Can't do it. The paladin would only be hitting the rotten. Probably not very helpful in the short term. Meanwhile, the eccentric can attack whoever he wants, but only a 1 in 2 chance. I do like this descend, this 2-prong fork. Makes me happy to think about being able to use that on 2 bones or the rotten and a bone. I'm just checking to see if any items have shown up that'll fix anything. I think I am going to keep this guy though. A large part of this problem, I think, is the cleric is dying. And therefore exploding. Let me think about this. If I flick you to get that benefit, and then cleanse you, stuff's looking a lot better all of a sudden. Who's attacking you? The rotten and this first bones. Is that worth a double burst? I'm gonna say yes. Everyone is much more healthy. We have far fewer bones. I forgot to do that. Oh yeah, and everyone's plagued because rotten. I'm sure that won't cause me any problems as I get closer and closer to the barrel hoops. Honestly, pretty good rolls. Go ahead and flick you. Then I'm going to do this, mostly just to keep the Jester off of just 1. The Rotten does have the potential to slowly spiral out of control because he summons imps, and imps no longer summon bones. Instead they suicide attack you. Okay. I keep thinking they still summon bones because they used to. They don't now. Okay, I gotta reroll. Do I take this 4 just to kill the imp? Or do I hope for a fork? To do 4 to both of them. Taking that. I got everything I wanted. They both die. To some definitions of die. Go ahead and blow him up a bit. Now if I do 3 damage, I win. And if I don't do that, a bunch of heroes are gonna die probably. Hey, we're done here. Wow, we're finally getting tier 3 items. Tier 3 items are good. This is when items finally start actually making some sort of impact that doesn't require, I don't know, like a calculator to figure out how to do anything useful with them. If I put the harpoon on the ranger, that means the ranger always does something. Pretty cool. That being said, I don't think we've ever actually rolled the far right side. I'm gonna do it anyway, because now that I've noticed that hole, I expect it to happen. Oh, this side isn't sticky. Interesting. It could be re-rolled. If we really want to go for probably this cleave is what would happen, statistically speaking. Exciting. I think my gesture's going to hide, which means nobody's dying this turn. Gonna go ahead and hit the knoll really hard. That's nothing. And do that. Flick you. Do that again. Flick the guy who turns you to stone if you hit him. And then keep going. Don't love how much poison is on my ranger or how much poison is about to happen in general. I do like mana. I don't know why I keep checking as if the medic's going to grow a stronger heal, one that's more than 2 pips. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe it will next time. Somebody might be dying this turn. If this was just Ascend, I could do something. I can still do something, I just don't think it's going to pay off. Is this the cleanse? No. This is the cleanse. Doesn't feel smart. That didn't feel mathematically correct. Hold on, hold on. I have enough of that to not apparently save everyone, and what the hell? You are terrible. Is it worth letting my medic die? Probably not. Did I actually have a way to save everybody? Yes. I don't like solutions like this because I feel like I'm still in the same terrible position, but now later in the turn cycle. But I suppose I'm not actually in the same terrible position, am I? Hey, everybody lived because I was patient for once. Strand sounds so cool to me. I don't think I've ever picked Fate to try it. Costs 4 mana, but you get the mana back if you saved a hero. So when are you using a heal other than to save a hero? Pretty rare. When do you have 4 mana? Pretty rare. Valkyrie, on the other hand, very cool if you are on the edge of death. Target ally cannot die this turn. Shield 2 rescue, keep using it if you save somebody. Revive 2 heroes, you don't get to pick which, it's just the top 2. And 4 damage Death Wish, times 2 if you're dying. Valkyrie can do great stuff if you have items to kind of pitch in a bit. Here's an item that gives you rescue on top and bottom sides, which is insane with Cannot Die. There's also one that gives you cantrip on top and bottom, which is pretty funny with Cannot Die because you just roll a bunch and hope for the best and your heroes don't die. Without those kinds of nonsense items, I don't know if Valkyrie's worth it. I'm thinking maybe just go Fate. Have a little bit more control, have Spell Rescue. Hopefully be able to have enough mana to use Spell Rescue when it counts. And we can regret that decision later. Do as much damage to the Ka as I can before the Ka goes and hides in the back row. Unfortunately, I don't have the mana to fix this problem. Even if I put the shield on the Fate, somebody still dies. I don't see a way out of it either. Okay, I'm gonna save my 3 mana. Maybe it'll become a spell rescue next time. Ideally, the Ka dies. I'm trying to think if I need the fork. I don't think the fork helps a ton. 1 tick off the slate and killing the Ka. Well, let's just kill the Ka. Let's take 1 off the slate already. My concern is on keeping as many heroes alive as I can. That's enough for spell rescue. Which rescues you and you. I think I can keep it going. It won't rescue everyone though. That might be enough. I'm dumb. Hang on. Ka first. Oh, well, the Ka was causing all the trouble. Ooh, the arrows don't quite stay where they need to. Literally unplayable. Unfortunate. Okay, we got everything back as a spell rescue. Now we have 5 mana with which to try to do something. Ooh. So if we can figure out how to do 2 independent damages this turn, we win. That's okay. We did it. Great work. Ooh, natural. Blue heroes only. That's important. Replace the 2 right sides with 2 mana. Or fangs. Have I ever seen fangs? Self-heal to the left side. I like vampire fangs. That's fun. Literally have never rolled this face. Doesn't matter. Self-heal here would be kind of cool, just to help keep the Fate alive. While the Fate gets to do something else, like keeping a different hero alive. I don't know what happens if you have self-heal on a heal and you heal yourself. Do you get it twice? Does it do nothing? Similarly, I guess there's self-shields on shields? Never experimented with any of that. Or it could go on the Jester. 3 mana. Also a self-heal. Jester's been dying a lot. I feel like I haven't seen this face in a while, which probably means statistics are going to make it come back, right? Or these 2 could be 2 mana. I'm going to go with Fangs. Keep people alive. And I think sticking it here does make a certain amount of sense. But I do think sticking it on the healer makes more sense. I'm gonna re-roll that. Actually, I think I just killed the Hydra. If you hit the Hydra 5 independent times, it dies, and I just noticed the Jester dies if I do all that, so... Spell Rescue? Aha. Ta-da. Good enough for me. Now we just have a regular old troll. Did we see a troll earlier in this? I honestly can't remember at this point. It's been so long. I thought this would be shorter. I didn't think I'd get this far. This is not the self-heal side, but I only have one roll left, and this will still save the Jester, who's just not going to participate in this fight, I guess. I can't use the rescue portion of this heal, so it's not worth it. I can flick you for 2. Gotcha. Hoocha. Christia. Right, so that's 1. That's 5. And that's burst. Okay. We win. Look, it's just a bigger troll. Okay. Do we want the guy who's a cleric but kinda cooler without mana? And with the thing that causes you problems because Exert really just kinda throws all the math out the window? And by that I mean it's 2.5 damage, but over 2 turns, but kinda sucks. Or the Warlock who has Pain on mana gain. Is it worth it? Maybe if I had taken the previously offered item, that would have made these both 2 mana. This is very cool. I dream of a time where I get to use this and have it make sense. I feel like the Warlock is so fragile. You've got a single-use self-heal shield, or self-heal 3 damage. That's so low, considering that your damage potential is so much higher to yourself. Blaze being 13 damage is pretty neat, though. I think I'm gonna go with stability and just keep inching my way through these fights. I feel like that's worked out so far. Ideally, it continues to work out, but we'll see. It's not entirely up to me. Okay, this can kill the archer. The archer is responsible for the Jester dying, effectively. Whoops, hang on. The eccentric is dying just because of the collective of these two. Same with that guy. This is insufficient to keep the ranger alive, but it's nice. Might as well take this. This keeps the ranger alive. That doesn't do very much. Arthur dies. Cut you. Do a little. You live. I'm tempted to poke the slate, but I feel like it's not worth it. What we have here is a problem. Fate does have the ability to dodge that incoming 7, which would be kind of nice. I have no mana for rescue, but the way everyone's getting toasted, I'd have to also have some other stuff going on for that to be sufficient. The Jester also has a dodge, so we could have 2 dodges going to take some of this heat off. Why is Jester even taking damage? What's your problem? Oh, some people are taking damage because this guy's going to explode. Right. Already having to plan out who's going to get shielded, and I don't enjoy it. We gotta keep this. That should have been kept. This is good. I should have kept the shield. Okay. That does a lot for things. What if I stick it here? That's unfortunate. So my characters who do damage are going to die. I can do that. Oh, might as well do that. The Troll King healing too makes sense, but it sure is annoying. I will finally do 1 damage to the slate. This could keep the ranger alive. Feel compelled to take it for that reason. The jester really just needs to... Ooh. Well, this is very tempting. It's almost enough to get spell rescue going. It is enough to get spell rescue going. Ah, I used a bunch of mana without thinking any of it through. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a way to save the jester still. Okay, there we go. We're back to spell rescue having applied. I hit you both. Nope. I flick you. I hit you both. If only I had another poke. Or flick, or whatever it's called. At the very least, I should be able to kill the slate, which will make me feel better about myself. I think I'm kind of toasted as far as killing the Troll King goes, but let's see if there's a way out of this anyway. This will save, I believe, either of them, Stalwart or Fate. The Ranger, on the other hand, the Ranger would be in a similar boat, but a little bit worse. That... Hang on. Oh, the Ranger's taking so much damage because of the explosion again. And unfortunately, there's not a way to save both of them. Even though it seems like there should be. I'm pretty sure this is where I lose the War of Attrition. It's been a good run. I beat my expectations. See, even if I hit this damage exert, the Fate doesn't really have a way to keep both of them alive. Actually, Even this is insufficient. As you can see, she's going to be overkilled by 2. I can do that, but that's not gonna save the stalwart. And now the Fate somehow has to do 13 damage all alone, which is simply just not going to happen. I can try. I don't think it's gonna happen. Wow, it's still 13. What a shock. What a surprise. I don't like having to hit the flee button. But there's no way to win this. Classic unfair defeat. Yeah. Well, the good news is this is truly farther than I thought I would get. Some of the unfair runs aimed before seeing turn or level 5, fight 5. We got up to 60, and that's pretty decent. That's the, what, second to last boss, I suppose you could say. Worse things have happened. Maybe we'll do another hard next time. Those are pretty easy at this point, right? Definitely no tricks or traps there, right?